Good morning and welcome to the morning main news. The headlines. Mufulira bids farewell to human rights advocate Chris Mwemba. EU urges Zambian civil society to hold government accountable. Quito residents concerned over the sinking of graves at Chingola Cemetery. And in foreign news, panelists call for climate momentum on Africa to be maintained. With the details, I'm Kalonje Momba. Advocacy on Human Development Coordinator Chris Mwemba was there to rest at Chatulinga Cemetery in Mofulera District on the Copperbelt Province following his passing on November 10, 2024 at Ronald Ross General Hospital. In a moving tribute, Mwemba's daughter Aluyando described her father as a remarkable man with a generous heart, dedicated not only to his family but also to the wider community. Mufulira Mayor Tanaeli Kabanga honored Mwemba's legacy, highlighting his unwavering commitment to truth and his willingness to speak candidly on critical issues. We have more in this report.
Today, mourners were in distress as they gather in large numbers to honor the life of the late Chris Mwemba, the human rights advocate who passed on 2 days ago at Ronald Ross General Hospital in Mofia District on the Copperbelt Province. Many described him as a man with a heart for the people, particularly advocating for individuals with disabilities.
Thank you for being a beacon of hope and a shining example of humanity. Your impact on the disability community will never fade. Your unwavering commitment to inclusivity and care has left an incredible mark. May your journey be filled with the same love and compassion you share with everyone of us.
His daughter, Luyando Mwemba, described her father as a family man who lived for everyone.
Let's pray for life. Be like an people. Never lose your focus. Always learn to be responsible. We will live on your legacy and we, your children, will try to make you proud.
Mufulira Mayor Tanaeli Kamanga remarked that Chris Mwemba will be remembered as a fearless leader dedicated to uplifting communities in the district.
This funeral is a funeral that has broken everybody here in Mufulira. The Munanife wa Mufulira, the law, Chitensha Chalo. Chitensha Chalo Munanife wa Chris Mwemba, Wena, the Kabbalah and the Pomulai to move. Na chipapa sana nilio washima pekwa cheva timenya maboko kuba Chris Mwemba tabala ndine kona na chichwa ni muna kwa kwa bachiba wa kufupamira. I believe understand ukutira but Chris Mwemba ba dina ndire umeo chesu on sepeba.
May the soul of Chris Mwemba rest in eternal peace. Reporting for Mafken News in Mofia District on the Copperbelt Province, I'm Frida Chalwe.
The European Union has challenged civil society organizations in Zambia to hold government accountable by ensuring that the voice of citizens are heard. EU Head of Cooperation in Zambia, Claudio, emphasized that civil society groups in the country must work tirelessly to uphold and respect human rights. He was speaking at the Expo 2024 EN Act, enabling access to justice, civil society participation, and transparency. It further pledged the EU's technical and financial support for programs aimed at strengthening justice systems in Zambia. Meanwhile, Justice Minister Princess Kasune noted that government is committed to ensuring that all citizens have access to justice when they need it and at an affordable price, though acknowledging that this is not yet a reality for all Zambians. More in this report.
You expect perfection from an imperfect soul, fighting mental health demons.
Activities marking Expo 2024 enact, enabling access to justice, civil society participation, and transparency.
Amazing justice, accountability, and transparency under the title.
During this event, the European Union posed a challenge to civil society organizations in Zambia to ensure that government is held accountable by making sure that voices of citizens are heard. EU Head of Cooperation in Zambia, Crado Bachikalupi, says the civil society in the country must work tirelessly to see to it that human rights are upheld and respected.
Our support extends beyond funding. Throughout the civil society roadmap, we provide a platform that the civil society organizations can use to engage in policy dialogue, participate in decision-making process, and shape the development agenda. This inclusive approach ensures that the voices of citizens are heard and valued. The impact of civil society is tangible. Civil society organizations have made significant contribution to advancing human rights in Zambia and worldwide, promoting gender equality and protecting the environment.
It further praised EU technical and financial support towards programs aimed at strengthening the justice system in Zambia.
The aim of these opportunities is to provide funding and technical assistance to civil society organizations, human rights defenders, and democracy activists worldwide to be able to carry out their vision, their objectives, and their dreams. The EU has supported the civil society in essential areas in Zambia's development, including inclusive education, prevention of sexual and gender-based violence, and support to survivors, skills provision to persons in detention, support to vulnerable children, organizations advocating for protection and civil space.
And speaking at the same occasion, Justice Minister Princess Kasune said its government desired to see to it that all citizens are accorded access to justice when they need it and at an affordable price, though that's not a reality for now in Zambia.
It is government desire, therefore, that all citizens at all levels access justice when they need it and at an affordable rate or amount. Yet we know that that's not a reality for all our Zambians, and that we need to strive for.
And the minister urged society not to normalize people who make extreme gains at the expense of Zambian masses.
We need not to normalize people who make extreme gains at the expense of all Zambians. For we are only stewards and not the owners of these resources. I tell different people I come across, whenever you're given an appointment or elected, the first day, just like in death, you are born, you die. You are appointed to be disappointed. You enter to exit.
You expect perfection from an imperfect soul.
Anthony Chomba, Mafken News, Lusaka.
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has disbursed a total of 256 million kwacha capital grant to 95 local authorities as part of the financial support towards implementation of the Zambia Devolution Support Program ZDSP. The ZDSP is a government-led program supported by the World Bank and is aimed at supporting some components of the national decentralization policy through the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and runs from the period of 2003 to 2023 to 2028. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Administration Permanent Secretary Mambo Hamaldu tells Mafken News that of the disbursement funding translates to each beneficiary local authority, receiving at an average of 2.7 million kwacha. Mr. Hamaldu says that 256 million kwacha disbursed is part of the total 210 million US dollars that the World Bank is supporting the government in the implementation of ZDSP. The permanent secretary stated that the capital grant disbursed to local authorities will be utilized in financing capital investment activities as well as other development-oriented activities such as local infrastructure projects.
Through the support of the World Bank through a program known as Zambia Devolution Support, we have this year dispersed up to 256 million in total 256 million to 95 local authorities. What this effectively means is that each local authority will receive an amount just slightly below 2.7 million, and this money is actually meant to invest. It's a capital grant which the local authorities are entitled to under this Zambia Devolution Support Program, having achieved what we refer to as disbursement linked indicators. So my appeal to the local authorities that as you have now received these funds, ensure that this money is invested and invested properly, and the investment projects must meet the minimum benchmarks in terms of environmental sustainability, and they should also socially be responsive to the needs of the people within your jurisdiction. Secondly, with the Zambia Devolution Support Program, we expect to enhance accountability and transparency in local authorities, because ultimately this is what we're looking at, given the drive for decentralizing. You will note that last year the president did launch the decentralization policy, and one of the key things that we want to accomplish there is that we must decentralize through devolution.
A 26-year-old woman of Ipusikelo Township in Kitwe District is reported to have been raped by one male person she can only identify if seen. This incident occurred yesterday, November 12, 2024, between 15 hours and 16 hours in Riverside area, and it was reported at 17:30 hours. According to the victim, identified as Precious Kapia, the suspect was with a friend and armed with a pistol when he raped her. Confirming this incident to Mafken News, Cobblebell Police Commanding Officer Biswa Mwemba has narrated that the victim was coming from her workplace where she works as a maid on her way home after she reached the Copperbelt Energy Corporation CEC solar plant. A vehicle which is grey in color stopped, and the driver, who was with a friend, asked if they can give her a lift, to which she refused. Then the driver produced a pistol to threaten her that if she refuses to get in the vehicle, they will kill her. Mr. Mwemba says Kapia had no choice but to get into the vehicle, which drove into Riverside Township at a place the victim is able to lead from there. She was raped by the armed male person whilst his friend remained outside the vehicle waiting for him. He adds that the complainant sustained painful vagina, painful legs, and general body pains as the suspect was using force on her, and after the act, the suspect threatened to kill her if she happened to report the matter to the police. Meanwhile, Copperbelt Police Chief has disclosed that the victim reported the matter to the police. A medical report was issued. Province Minister, who is also Katuba Member of Parliament, Mwabashike Nkulukusa, says the UPND government will continue channeling more funds to the education sector. Speaking when he officiated at the official opening ceremony of St. Letitia's Secondary School in Katuba, Mr. Nkulukusa revealed that since the introduction of free education in 2021, over 2.5 million children have gone back to school. He adds that this is because of the of the over 1 billion United States dollars that government has pumped into the education sector since 2021. Ms. Tankolo Kosari affirmed government's commitment to provide quality education to all. It says government is aware of the